Well, hello again. Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking another look at one of the JCM 900s. This again is a 4500. This ought to be the third video I've done on these amps, and we'll finish up the trilogy hopefully. You people seem to like the 900 videos, since one of my older videos originally was one of the 900s. It's generated a lot of views and a lot of questions and a lot of comments, a lot of controversy. So this is going to be fun. The customer brought this in. I've known this customer for probably since the early 90s. Done a lot of work for him. He's wanting to change the transformers, recap the amp. He's pretty much got new tubes in it. And since he's talked to some of the other guys in here when we're doing work on these amps, he wants one of my mods done that I do, which is to remove the faux tone stack that Marshall has on the gain channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of the complaints with these amps is when you switch from channel to channel, the tone changes. Well, Marshall preset a tone stack in the lead channel. So we're going to go on with this. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a good job. He pretty much gave me free reign on this. I love it when a customer comes in and says, this is what I want you to do. Do whatever you want. So away we go. Okay, we are in. Got a lot to do here. We've got our new transformers, and yeah, this is going to put us up into a new weight class. We're going to be adding a choke. The choke will be replacing this resistor right here. So you have to drill some holes to that choke. Got a new F&T power supply capacitors, the rest of our capacitors. What we have here is, this is rather high voltage. These are our solid state power supply capacitors. Here are bias capacitors. Here's the bias feed capacitor I always change. And lurking down here we've got a few little resistors we're going to change. We've got these tubes laid out in order he had them in it. He's using a Mullard reissue preamp tube for the first tube, a tongue saw for the second, and a JJ for the phase inverter. And it looks like a couple tongue saw EL34s for the outputs. So he's just changed those. We're going to see if we can make that all work out for him. Okay, so getting over here, we're going to be changing these power supply capacitors. We're going to be moving some stuff from this board up here. I do the typical grid correction that I do. We're going to move these resistors down to the tube sockets. These are wrong value for EL34s anyway. We're going to be replacing the bias capacitors. Here's the aforementioned bias feed capacitor. We're going to come down here. We're going to change the slope in the tone stack. We're going to change this to a silver mica capacitor for your treble control. And over in this area, we're going to be nuking the faux tone stack that they have preset for the lead channel. So, looks like a lot of fun. Let's get into it. Well, we're a bit over a couple hours in so far, and we've got our power supply caps changed. We've done our mods to the board up here. So we've got our jumpers here, and we've put our grid resistors down here on the tube sockets where they should be. We've changed our bias caps. We've changed the bias feed cap. This gives me an opportunity also to mention something that's come up several times in the other 900 video. People keep asking me, why I have changed this capacitor right here. And I keep replying to them and answering their questions, but I'm going to say this as clearly as possible with visual aids. I have had several of these amps come in where this capacitor goes bad, your bias goes away because your AC voltage that supplies your bias passes through the original cap that's in this position, which is one of these little blue guys. Alright? Now, this amp, the owner actually mentioned his biasing was unstable when he brought it in, so that was another thing. But anyway, I'm going to show you something. This is why I changed this capacitor. These are a 250 volt capacitor. Alright? 250 volts. The voltage right here that's on that capacitor is over 300. I see a lot of them fail. Alright? So there's that. One person even asked, well, why do you change it? Does it change the tone? Well, yes, in some cases it can change the tone, usually for the better if your amp's dead or blowing tubes. So, that's why. So, believe me, I don't do it for fun, I do it for a reason. I always replace them with a 630 volt capacitor. There, that said, moving on. We've removed this resistor and we're ready to put our choke in. And come up here to this board. We've replaced our power supply caps here. We've done a few little things down here. We've also replaced this power supply capacitor. We've replaced our slope resistor for the tone stack. We've also added a silver mica capacitor for the treble control. We've gotten rid of the fake tone stack that we've got in here that they'd preset at the factory. So you see there's a few pieces missing back here. That's going to open this amp up a lot. I've done it before several times. It always works out well. They're always amazed. I never forget the first comment guy says, I was at these 900 and we'd worked on for some time off and on. He says, why does my tone change when I switch from the rhythm channel to the lead channel? And I got looking and found out they had this, faux tone stack pre-hardwired the way they thought it should sound. So doesn't take much to nuke it out of there. So we're going to get on here to replacing the transformers. We're going to have to drill for the choke. I think we're going to put it right about here somewhere on the end. So I think we're going to replace the output transformer first, then drill for the choke, and then replace the power transformer. So we carry on. Alright, we are pretty much finished up here. We've got our transformers in. Here's the output. There's our choke bolts. There's our power supply transformer. We've added some wire ties to keep everything all nice and neat. The red ones are all mine, because everybody knows red sounds better. Plus I just have a thing for red. Anyway. So we've done all the mods, got all the caps in, got the transformers all in. I've cleaned his pots. I've play tested it so far and bench ran it a little bit. Redid his bias. The bias is about 56 mils per tube when I first fired it back up with the new transformers in it. I didn't check it beforehand, but I've biased it properly. I'm sure there is a difference in plate load of the new transformers. So anyway, everything's all been taken care of here. Got it all nice, neat, and tidy. Something else I found while I was working on this last night before I finished up, the main filter cap ground had never been soldered to the chassis. The lug was there for it, but it had never been connected. But the amp's quieter. So anyway, we're going to flip this over and let you see the other side. Hang on. So here's the business side. This is a sight to behold. Woof. That is a big power transformer. Mounted choke right in front of it. Of course, new filter caps. All that. So back here is our pile of debris. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's French for garbage. So anyway, oh, here's something. This filter cap had been clamped a little bit tight at the factory. Amazing. So I found that plus a ground that had never been soldered in this amp. You guys be amazed at the stuff I find in 30-year-old amplifiers that have managed to slip by for this long. I had another 900 in the shop previous to this one that actually was the former 900 video that the one filter cap section had not been hooked up. And we also found a real problem with the bass control was, instead of 1 meg, was 1.8 meg. Caused us a little bit of confusion and head scratching. But anyway, we've got this one up and running. I'm going to buckle it up here. I'm going to bench around a few more days before I let the owner have it back. But I'm pretty sure he's good to go. And so there it is, completed. A lot of my customers, people know me, know that I'm really not all that fond of 900s, and it's really kind of funny when this customer mentioned it to me. He says, well, he says, I've got one of your favorite amps I want you to work on. He kind of chuckled. But actually, I'm going to tell you something. After doing this amp and the mods and everything on it, the transformers and everything, this is a nice amp. It is very dynamic. It actually has a nice clean channel now, very reminiscent of a Plexi. Then you've got the higher gain channel, but the tone controls, you don't have to retweak your tone when you switch channels now. So actually this could very possibly be, oh yeah, and I hate to say it, my favorite 900. We've got a 50 watt version here. It makes it much more manageable. Like I say, with the good transformers, the new caps, the mods, this is actually a pretty nice amp.
Yeah, it seems like it's got a lot more growl to it even now. Because that gain's not even maxed out on it. Charlie, I'm digging it, dude.
Cool. So, there you go. Till next time, play nice,